Hello, what's up? Welcome back on our YouTube. Alright guys, so remember we started our free lessons on our YouTube channel, and of course we have our first episode. It's out. I shared it like a week ago, and that was all about price action, talking more about price action and showing you guys the topics that we'll be following in price action. So our next topic is going to be all about trend. What do you know about trend? How do you know that the market is in a downtrend or uptrend or a sideways trend? More about trend will be shared in this video. All right, let's just dive right into the charts and see how you can find a trend and how you can identify a trend, and also how can you follow the market trend. Let's go. Yo, hello, what's up? So as I said, we shall be talking more about trend. Of course, a trend, the reason why we trade trends. Of course, you can't buy in a downtrend, and also you can't sell in an uptrend. So according to the trend, when you have price moving across time due to supply and demand, or due to support and resistance, market creates what we call a trend. Okay, this section is discussed about trend. Okay, so a trend, this is where the market is taking a like either direction, either uptrend or downtrend, and also we have what we call a sideways trend. Okay, so here they say we have three types of trend. I've talked about the uptrend, downtrend, and also the sideways. Now each of the three trends have certain price structure. Okay, these trends have certain price structures. Yeah, so here they say theory about trends, yeah, and also here they are showing you structure of an uptrend or bull. Okay, so in an uptrend we buy, or in an uptrend we buy, in a downtrend we sell. Okay, this is a structure of an uptrend. Okay, market forms higher highs and higher lows when it's in an uptrend. As you see here, this is what we call a higher low, or you can call it a support level zone. When the market continues moving up, it gets what we call a higher high. Okay, you see this is what we call a higher high, and also after market breaking it, also it creates what we call a higher high again. This is what we call a higher low. For example, when market is moving in this format, for example, when market is moving in this format, okay, this format, in this format, this is what we call a what? A higher low, a higher low, higher low, higher low. This is what we call a higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay, this is what you're saying here. That is what we call a uptrend. Yeah, okay, this is a structure of an uptrend. And also, if you could follow up, you see market forms higher highs in an uptrend. Okay, yeah, this is what we call. Okay, let's go in theory of a downtrend. In a downtrend, market forms the what? Opposite of this. This is higher low. Here it creates lower highs. Okay, here you see lower highs, lower lows. Market forms lower highs here. This is what we call a lower high, and this is what we call a lower low. The resistance is called lower high, and the support is called lower low. Okay, it's always in this format also. It's always in this format. It's always like this. Yeah, you understand? This is what we call a what? A lower low, a lower low, a higher high, a higher high, a lower low, a higher high. Market forms lower lows and lower highs in a downtrend, but in an uptrend, it creates what? Higher highs and what? Higher highs and higher lows. Here it creates lower lows and lower highs in a downtrend, okay, or bearish. Also, if you could follow up and say here, this is this is not a structure, but this is a chart. Okay, this is a chart here showing you a market movement on a live chart. Here it's what we call a lower low. This is what we call a lower low. A lower low, this is a lower high. Or you can call this resistance, this support, this resistance, this support, this resistance. Okay. Yeah, and also here, this is what we call a sideways trend, or we can call it a sideways channel. In the channel what? Channel strategy, you call it a sideways channel. or this is what you call a ranging market. Okay, so in this market forms also, as you see, this is support and resistance. Okay, this is resistance, this is support. That means we buy from support and sell from resistance. This is a chart showing you market travel in a range. Okay, market buys from support, market sells from resistance. Here it's a buy, here it's a sell. The moment the market touches any of these lines, or a resistance level line or a support level line, we do what? We enter for a sell, or we enter for a buy. Okay, yeah, more of that. Let's go on our what, on a live chat. I show you what we could also follow up. We could also follow up what we call you see on this chart, this is XAUUSD. If you could come and see, you can see that the market is in a downtrend. Is in a what? In a downtrend. Okay, market is in a downtrend. Yeah, this market is in a what? It's in a downtrend. Okay, so market is forming a downtrend. You just come, use your naked eyes to find out a trend. Either market is forming higher, lower lows, lower highs, or lower lows. Okay, and also let's try and see on another pair. This is Euro USD, and see how the market forms charts. It forms trend. Also, when you can see up to this channel, also this is a downtrend. Okay, this is also a downtrend. And also let me check on a USD, the currency. Okay, just use your naked eyes and see. Also, this is in a downtrend. This is M15. Yeah, this is M15. Okay, let's try out and see a higher time frame and see. Yeah, a higher time frame. It's also in an uptrend. You see, in a downtrend. Yeah, I had this buy. Market went about around this zone, and also this is what's just stuff. You see. But remember, we shall talk about break and retests here. So in a break and retest, this is what I traded here. This is, of course, a downtrend. You see, this is a downtrend, but we always have a break and retest. The moment we break this zone, they resist this zone. For example, let me show you the zone around here. The zone is here. For example, when we break a zone like this zone, you see, for example, when we break this zone, it was around here. For example, when we break this is of course an uptrend. But when the market comes down and break this zone here, you see, breaks the higher lows, it will do the opposite. It will create lower highs. You see, that's the reason why I went in for a buy over there, but it was in a downtrend. Okay, yeah, this is the reason why I went in for buys from here. Market had a break retest, then I bought. You see, break, retest, then I buy. Okay, so in our next video, we shall be talking about, let me show you the topic. And guys, remember, when you need this PDF, just send me a message direct on my WhatsApp. Okay, send me a message direct on my WhatsApp. We shall talk about reversals and confirmations. Reversals and confirmations. All right, let's meet in our next video. Stay blessed. Subscribe and like our videos always.